like a son to him. And I think his spirit and vision is going to possess every one of you from now on. You'll be infused because the vision has to go on. I'm going to put you on to ours, which is shedding light even in the darkest corners. The mission, changing universal consciousness by opening minds and hearts. And of course, the philosophy is love, peace, happiness, kindness, and two very important factors, simplicity and clarity. That's our motto. So, coming to our intention, which everybody seeks, our intention should be, the focus should be infinity. No matter what you're doing, infinity is our goal. Next. And like every journey, the path to infinity we have to care for the basics of life, and how we approach them is very important. Next. The approach to the basics of life is education and awareness. This is a bit limited because this was for another presentation. And human values, very, very strongly enforced through our education methods in our schools. We have many schools for the poor, destitutes. Food, which is organic farming, composting, whichever way you can protect yourselves and supply people with food with the minimum of expenditure. Hydroponics, which is soilless culture, bionutrients, I make them out of waste. All these programs are functional in Chennai at our forest nursery site. Afforestation, greening programs. We're going to be needing oxygen if we don't start greening on a war footing. We just read the writing on the wall for Chennai. That was a rap from nature. Rainwater harvesting is a very important thing. We talked about it. I came to Chennai and set up in 2010. Started the first rainwater harvesting trench, which is put across the road. The reason for all these diseases, and of course mosquito eradication is not on the list, but we do it. It's a cyclic, systematic control of mosquitoes using a herbal pesticide called pyrethrum. So we demonstrated this to the government. We did it on the roads. And we picked an institute such as the WCC, which was just next to the Coombe River, and drove out millions of mosquitoes in 2 months. The students were out and playing tennis again. They never came out of that campus after 5:30 in the evening. So it took us about 2 weeks to get it totally under control, and then we spaced it out to just once in so many days. 4 days is enough. You get it under control, and you got a problem solved. Prevention is better than cure. When I did this at the WCC, I had the Corporation of Chennai knock on our doors. I approached them in 2010. This was in 2013 that I did it at the WCC. And they said, what is it that you're doing different? Because people started to complain and say, how come this area is free of mosquitoes and we're still with it? Then welfare associations called us up. We guided them. We can give you the methodology, easy, doable in every one of your localities. If you're going to be waiting for the government to do it, you're going to be handling the problems that come with mosquitoes. And by the way, Chennai is the capital city in the world for mosquitoes, sharing the seat with the place in South America. It's on the world map for mosquitoes, and if any of you come from Velachery and Perangudi areas, that's the spot. So health and nutrition is extremely important. My husband, there's something called holistic healing, energy healing around the world, around India. And that's the reason why he came in touch with President Kalam, because he took that idea and he said, science is fine, thinking scientific, but there's something beyond science that we can't understand. And that's available for everybody. So healing is important. You learn to heal using the universal energy, and that's how we sponsor all our programs. So that's how President Kalam took this to Delhi as the president. He called on doctors from all over the world, and he made my husband address them in the AIIMS Institute. So mangroves, a very vital need for a coastal belt. If you understand what went on with the flooding in Chennai, what went on with the tsunami, it's because Tamil Nadu has lost its mangroves, barring 2 places, Muthupet and Pichavaram. All your waterways were lined with mangroves some years ago. The British were not foolish when they brought in a saltwater canal and they put the mangroves. So seawater intrusion did not take place. But now the locks have been removed. The one in Muttukadu has been removed. The one in Eno has been defunct. And the one that was connected after the British time, the three waterways were connected around the Adyar area, Koturpuram. So that's the reason for your saltwater intrusion. That's why Chennai is losing its groundwater by the day with the tides through the Buckingham Canal. You can get more information. I'm just rushing through it because I know we're out of time. But please put back the mangroves. We have a huge mangrove nursery. I've simulated a mangrove condition in the Red Hills, far away from the sea. So you can grow them in pots, you can grow them in packets, raise them to 1.5 meters when it's free from goats, and put them on your beach properties, put them on your waterways, otherwise you're not going to have your homes left. The way the sea is behaving, there's unrest in the sea, the tectonic plates are loose in the Indian Ocean. It's going to be pulling out your beaches and your houses as well. And flooding is going to take place more and more. The waves are going to get bigger. So some corrective measures have to be taken. I hope you're not waiting for another 100 years. I hear people saying that we got another 100 years before we get something like this. Water solutions. Water solutions, we have many. One is to put back the mangroves, to correct the problem in the Buckingham Canal, which is bringing in the seawater. And we have something else, which is having told you the sorry story of Chennai coming under the sea, meaning everything's changing into seawater here. We're coming out with a machine called UTA, which is water out of thin air from condensation. So the machine has passed the trials, another invention, but we're trying to bring down the price so that every little home, in every remote place, we don't want to see those ladies with those water pots and struggling and buying those little packets of water. This will produce like 20 liters of water with one tea light. The invention is through, and it will be coming out as soon as we bring down the price of the machine. Then we'll get sponsors, and everybody will have fresh water. So that's water. We also have solar, which we've done a hospital in the Sundarbans, and we're doing the trials there. So the main thing that solar is not lapped up is because of the expense of the batteries, and it's not eco-friendly. So we decided, when I say we, it's my husband, but I like to take the credit because I talk about it. So solar with no batteries, storage, so you have day and night power, but no batteries involved. So the first trials were like 1 watt of solar with 3 watts, but he's trying to get more, and you can run your building day and night. Hopefully that will happen for the Red Hill site. And mind you, all these things are being conducted in your hometown, Chennai. But nobody, and this is going on for the last so many years, I've been knocking on everybody's doors and saying, wake up, put back the trees, start the greening, otherwise you're going to be walking with oxygen cylinders behind you. So next is, these are the basics of life: food, water, education, awareness, health, nutrition, and everybody knows affordable housing. We click on that. We came out with a global invention in 2013, but we did it before, 10 years ago, a school classroom in Delhi. All this is on our website. So making structures using your mineral water bottle sitting on your table, filled with waste mud, becomes a solid, everlasting brick with zero carbon footprint on this planet. No baking of bricks, nothing. The building has passed an earthquake test at the CSIR lab. It was first done in Chennai, in the Red Hills. And then it went on. We went on further. We built a whole charity hospital in the Sundarbans with fishnet and pet bottles. Functional, state-of-the-art hospital for 96,000 people to benefit with no medical care. Now, we talked a lot about medical problems here. So all this goes together, and I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to sign off now. And you can ask any questions after the event, after this. So you can put on the video now. But that's it in a nutshell. Thank you. This was presented at the United Nations. 15 countries.
Founded in India in 2006 with a vision to shed light even in the darkest corners, the Samarpan Foundation provides support and assistance of any kind where there is a humanitarian, ecological, environmental, or animal welfare need. In 2014, Samarpan Foundation devised a low-cost, ecologically friendly construction method using nylon 6 fishnet to replace steel within the structural slabs. and recycled plastic PET bottles packed with earth to replace conventional baked bricks. This method of construction replaces steel in the building of dwellings in remote and difficult circumstances and in disaster areas. Regionally adaptable, Samarpan's construction method is proven to withstand earthquakes up to 9.8 on the Richter scale. This unique construction method provides impoverished communities and disaster areas with the opportunity to construct affordable dwellings, recycle waste, and create sustainable futures. Samarpan Foundation has successfully built a hospital, health and education centres, a nursery, and water towers in remote, difficult circumstances and disaster areas across India and Nepal. Construction has been initiated in South Africa to build a hospice and rehabilitation facility, educational centres, and a community kitchen and lavatory facilities. Samarpan Foundation's construction method is affordable. Nylon 6 fishnet costs a mere 5% of the cost of steel, and in India, building with PET bottle bricks and Nylon 6 fishnet reduces the building cost by 60%. Not only are the materials used within construction low cost, they are readily found locally, and if not, they are easily transportable to remote locations and disaster areas. The fishnet and PET bottle construction process begins with tightly packing the discarded, used 500ml and 1 litre PET bottles with mud, sand or fly ash to ensure no give. A foundation trench is then dug as per the load-bearing capacity of soil at the construction site. 15 centimetres of plain cement concrete, PCC, is then laid at the base of the foundation trench. The filled bottles are then placed in the trench at twice the width of the wall up to ground level width. Cement mortar slurry, 1 cement is to 6 sand, is then poured between the bottles. The Nylon 6 fishnet, 210 denier 3-ply, 3 cent for the foundation. The fishnet ropes are made by using Nylon 6 fishnet cut into widths of 20 squares wide, then twisted to make fishnet ropes. On the foundation, over the fishnet ropes and fishnet, bottles are arranged in the configurations 1 and 2. Windows are created. The lintel is made by pulling the fishnet ropes and fishnet at extreme tension from 60 centimetres beyond the window. Doors are created. The lintel is made by pulling the fishnet ropes and fishnet at extreme tension from 60 centimetres beyond the door. Once the wall has reached the required height, with course configurations 1 and 2 stacked successively, the fishnet is linked with the bottle caps on the projecting outside surface of the wall, interlocking and creating a continuity between successive layers, thereby making the bottles one continuous structure. Casting the ceiling. Normal conventional shuttering, either steel or wood, is provided beneath the fishnet and the fishnet ropes that make up the roof space. The slab is cast on top, over the fishnet bracings and cross bracings, with a layer of fishnet over the top. A concrete mixture, 1 part of cement, 3 parts of sand, 3 parts of gravel, 16 millimetres, is poured over the fishnet and the ceiling is cast. A 500ml PET bottle is placed at 1 metre intervals along each rope to support the ceiling fishnet rope, and a 1 litre PET bottle is placed at the edge to support the vertical fishnet rope. The horizontal PET bottles are placed 100mm above slab bottom. The walls then have to be plastered with cement plaster to cover the fishnet and bottle caps completely. Parts of fishnet rope and fishnet in front of the wall openings are also trimmed, and then the ends are melted with flame. This first of its kind construction method is certified earthquake resistant up to 9.8 on the Richter scale. Samarpan Foundation's method of construction has been tested and certified by the Structural Engineering Research Centre, a constituent of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research in India. The structure, when tested within the laboratory, withstood 18 simulated earthquakes ranging from 1.56 to 9.8 on the Richter scale. In 2014, within the remote and hostile environment of Bali Island, Sundarbans, West Bengal, India, Samarpan Foundation constructed and opened within the same year a 650 square metres, 30-bed charity hospital using PET bottles and nylon 6 fishnet. The unnecessary loss of life due to lack of medical facilities for the 95,000 people living on the islands prompted Samarpan Foundation to build a state-of-the-art medical centre, complete with the latest diagnostic equipment, operation theatre, emergency room and ICU. The hospital is not only earthquake-proof up to 9.8 on the Richter scale, it is also flood-proof up to 1.5 metres and cyclone-proof, designed to withstand wind loads from wind speeds up to 200 kilometres per hour associated with cyclones. Within the rural environment of Red Hills, Chennai, India, Samarpan Foundation has completed a prototype double-storey construction. Built using conventional bricks and nylon 6 fishnet, this building proves the high tensile strength and second-storey load-bearing success of replacing steel with fishnet within the concrete slab. Stairs have been constructed using only nylon 6 fishnet and concrete. No steel reinforcement has been used. At 2 Indian locations, Bali Island Sundarbans in West Bengal and Red Hills in Chennai, 8-metre-high water towers holding 6,000 litres of water have been built. These 4-column structures have been constructed using PET bottle and nylon 6 fishnet construction. No steel has been used. The Sundarbans Tower, despite being built on clay which liquefies when it rains, has withstood the recent Nepal earthquake and cyclonic conditions. Our projects are managed by a dedicated team of international volunteers who do what needs to be done to achieve the greatest good for the greatest number. Samarpan's mission is to change universal consciousness by opening minds and hearts through empowering volunteers to care for vulnerable, hungry and destitute people and animals. Please join us to bring about change. To donate, please contact donate@Samarpan Foundation or visit our website at samarpanfoundation.org to find out more.
So,
thank you for your
the
generosity.
recent news that's coming from Africa, it's passed the fire test. 2 hours in a furnace, 1020 degrees. The question put to us was, will the bottles melt in a fire? Pass the test. Impact, soft body, water seepage, you name it. I don't know. All the test reports are coming to me in Chennai because I said I want it here. And when is Chennai going to take this up? The recent floods, this is the answer for them. Sturdy, strong, low-cost buildings. Cool. You don't need a fan. Nothing. So I hope this will be taken up. I'm starting training sessions. I've got like auto rickshaw drivers who've called up and listed their names. Everybody wants a house. And this is a house for free. From the dustbin.